Hello.
So what did everybody get dinner?
You can unmute yourselves if you need to. Just ask that you mute yourselves when you're not speaking. That way background noise doesn't cut over somebody.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to hear me?
No, mute him.
I lost it. Oh, there we go. Got it.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, somebody I hear.
Can we stop meeting like this next month?
Oh,
We have to see, Gary, what the county does.
I know.
We still, even though the state may relax, the county may not. So we're gonna have to see what the county executive does between now and the next meeting. I'll talk to
Remember,
that
it's a
later.
recommendation. It's not a law.
I'll talk to that later. Okay, we've got one more minute. Do we have everybody?
I have a flag, Kathy.
Oh, I did too. I'm gonna show my flag.
I got one. Yeah, so
I got one somewhere.
Mine's right behind me.
Yeah, I got one.
I have a flag.
well, all right, John, you just had to show off, didn't you?
Mine's a little more portable. I have a big flag, but that was too big to bring in.
This was
I could take this outside, but that's where mine is.
I'll hold mine up so we can. Okay, I'll wait till my computer says 7 and then we'll start.
Jason, I do have a flag like that. I just haven't put it out yet, like yours. With a little blue line through it.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine makes them.
Yeah, I haven't put it out yet. I was waiting for my other flag to get kind of yucky looking.
I saw one like that at the Polar Bear Plunge they were auctioning off, Jason. Looked just like that.
How about this?
Okay,
Army, Navy, Air Force, everything.
Oh, there you go.
okay. Call the meeting to order and all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And here's my flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the
of the
United
United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
stand
one nation, under God,
nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hooah.
Okay, Donna, roll call vote, please.
Mayor Swiker,
Here,
Alderman Torlina,
Here.
Alderman Pellerito,
Here.
Alderman Potter,
there's one in the car. He's there somewhere.
Alderman Bernard,
Here.
Alderman Law,
Here.
Alderman Turner,
Here.
Alderman Potter,
Mike.
he is still on the call.
Yeah. I can kind of hear him in the background there.
where is he?
He's somewhere in the room.
I thought I heard him talking to his wife.
Yeah.
Mike Potter.
Do you want me to call him?
Yeah. He was just there.
Yeah, I know. I heard him talking to Jackie.
It looks like Matt's not shaving anymore during.
I know. I was noticing that. All right, hold on.
I want to look like George.
Yeah, he knows that with
Andrew,
George
you want to
too.
look, well, you would look like Gary Tarlina, except your hair is a little different color.
There he is.
Yeah, I'm on a battery and I can get a longer.
All right. Well, don't return my call.
I
Kathy told me to call you.
That's fine. I had to get a longer charger for my iPad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine was going out. Okay, did you say here, Mike? I think you did.
I said here, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. I know you are.
You have a quorum,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, I got it. I
Yeah,
got
I was-
charged now.
Yay.
Okay.
You guys talk too much.
Okay.
I'm
We
ready.
did not, of course, have any minister for the, what? Are you finished, Mike? Okay, we
I'm
don't have
done.
any minister for the invocation, but I thought maybe we just all can silently say a prayer for our, especially for our first responders, all of the healthcare people, and not just the healthcare itself, but everybody that makes that up, the maintenance people, the cooks, everyone that's keeping our hospitals going. Also our first line responders, police, firemen, the EMTs who are still out there, and our essential workers. So if we just want to silently say a few words. Appreciate all of them. Thank you, God, for all of them. Amen.
And including our trash collectors.
They're essential workers, Gary.
Yep.
There are a lot of
Yep.
essential workers out there. Announcements, I have none. Committee reports. I don't believe anyone, that we have any HOA reps. Planning and zoning.
Not sure. You gotta ask Lewis. So we got one in May.
I don't believe we have a meeting in May, do we, Louis?
No meeting in May. We will have one in June.
Oh, okay.
In June? Okay, thank you. Park board,
No meeting right now.
tree board,
No meeting this month.
okay. A&F, because we may have residents that called into this meeting that weren't at the earlier one. I think that might be Gary Turner. Is that
So
right?
Gary Carolina.
No,
Oh,
it's
Gary
me.
Torlina. Okay,
You ready?
if you just want to give a brief summary, Gary.
Oh, I'll try.
Okay.
Paul
thank you.
gave a report on how business closures are impacting our fiscal year budget. Total revenues for the city is expected to be down roughly $740,000 less than what was budgeted. 6 part-time employees have been furloughed. The park recreational program is on hold until social distancing has stopped and will only continue if we have enough participants. Some good news, new housing permits have not slowed down. We had 22 in March, 41 year to date. Chief DiGiuseppe gave a report on how the police department is handling the virus regarding personnel, enforcement of county orders, and he's asking for the community's help concerning voluntary compliance. Everybody in the department is healthy, which is great. I got a lot of donations for PPE equipment. The hospital has a drive-through, but it's not very busy. We don't know when the county will open things back up. No court has been held, and there seems to be a lot of anxiety with residents when they get to the grocery stores or other stores. Derek Kessel gave a report on ways to reduce expenses in the Public Works Department. What current projects can be completed and what future projects can be delayed. No grant projects are expected to be delayed. We're moving 400,000 from street capital back to the general fund. And then Purpose Wrecker is looking for a new pre-annexation agreement, which would allow subdivision and development of their property. Lewis went over several of their owners' requests, and then we're going to table that to the next meeting, I believe. Synergy Apartments located at the Meadows. They would like to display a 64 square foot banner, which is not allowed in our codes, but we are going to temporarily suspend the code for right now. Due to the impact of the coronavirus, the Meadows Park project is being postponed. We're going to use the web page to notify residents along with a Facebook update. temporary changes to the code enforcement policies. Code violations that are not life or safety issues requiring significant cost to the property owners will be documented but not enforced. They will be enforced once the virus issue is over. Life and safety issues not requiring significant cost to the property owners will be continue to be enforced. That's my report.
Thank you, Gary. Development Review Board, we did have a meeting. It was an online meeting, and we found out we had some kinks there we had to work through where the link wasn't working correctly. But we did have a meeting last Thursday, and at that meeting, it was Aldi is planning an addition and to their store. It's kind of to the backside, not the side that faces and our Hawk Ridge Trail. And that's good news. When we asked them when they plan to start work on it, they were hoping their contractors would be starting maybe at the end of May sometime and be ready to go in June. So that's good to hear. And he said that it's just going crazy there at Aldi right now. So they're anxious to get this addition on. And we hadn't had one in a while, so that was good to have. City Image Advisory Committee.
We have not met. Same thing.
Okay. And then in other reports, as all of you know, we had to postpone the County Municipal League meeting that was going to be held next Wednesday or next Tuesday, I believe. And that was Lake St. Louis was going to be the host. They're looking at maybe sometime in June. I don't know, because the next one is in late July. So I don't even know if they will have the meeting that we'll be hosting. So we'll be listening to see what they do there. But I've been in a couple meetings with County Executive Steve Ellman, county staff, the other mayors of St. Charles County, and then all of our city administrators. We've had a couple meetings so far, just kind of to get updates on what is going on. We had one last week. We combined our monthly mayor's meeting, and the EDC gave a report. And one of the concerns that, and I think we've been hearing this, is with a lot of these small businesses, that they weren't able to take part in that stimulus package. The money was gone before a lot of them could even apply for it. So everybody's getting together to encourage another round. And I think Congress, I don't know if they passed anything today, but I know they're working on another phase 2 for the small businesses. And that's really important, that we help these small businesses so that they can have the money to keep going. The county executive also talked about, and I know Chief just mentioned that earlier tonight, reopening of the county. And this was right before, I think it was that afternoon, that Governor Parsons extended the stay in place order. And the county executive said, I think, and he kind of was anticipating that, but he said, I think we probably will be opening somewhere between the state and what we're hearing St. Louis County and St. Louis City is doing. I know they're talking about readdressing it in mid-May. And so my guess is maybe County Executive Steve Ellman will be looking at it sometime after Governor Parsons. I don't know if he'd be ready to open it at that same date, that Monday. And I know Gary Turner, you said we need to have our meeting on Monday, but we need to follow what the county executive is saying to do. I mean, we could have a meeting, but we couldn't have more than 10 there. So I don't think that makes sense. So we'll just have to see what happens within the next 2 weeks on that. And Steve has been really good about keeping the mayors and the city managers also have meetings, ongoing meetings. So the county has been working very closely with us on all of what's going on there. And all of the mayors, kind of the same thing. Everybody's in the same boat. Businesses are closed. Some of them want to open early. I know the casino would really like to open early, and county executives a little concerned if St. Louis City and St. Louis County and Illinois do not have a stay in place, and we allowed the casino to open, where everybody would be that go to the casino. So there's some issues there if we're a little bit ahead of the other counties. And I think they're all anticipating that it won't be immediately, we won't go back to norm right away. If restaurants open, it might be 50% capacity every other table. So there's a lot of issues out there. Also, the county's been really good about sharing their COVID cases, the number of deaths. You can go to their website, hover over the zip code. As I've told some residents, the 63367 zip code does have about at least 20%, maybe up to 25% that is not in the city limits of Lake St. Louis. It goes all the way down to Highway D. It goes way out past Duella. It includes subdivisions, especially in O'Fallon, that are not part of Lake St. Louis. So, I mean, they're close. And I think you can't get hung up on what one city is because everything is so close in proximity. If you're going to a Walmart or you're going to a Schnucks, there could be people that are outside your zip code that are there. So you've got to remain cautious. And that's mine. I don't know if anyone else has been to any other meetings. I don't think there've been too many meetings held in the last couple weeks or so, last 3 weeks. Okay, we have no public hearings. We didn't have any planning and zoning, so there's nothing there. Calendar, Paul. Probably not much on the calendar either.
He's muted.
Are you muted, Paul?
Paul, unmute. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Now we can, yes.
Okay. Yeah, we've suspended the calendar because we just don't have any meetings. There's a Board of Adjustment coming up, but that's the only meeting that we have outside of our Board of Alderman meeting.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the March 6th, 2020 meeting?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
16th.
Oh, March 16th, I think I said that, well, maybe I didn't, 2020 meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated in your packets?
So
So moved.
moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Appointments, I have none. I have 2 public comments. I'll read them in the order that we received them. The first one is from Gary Shepherd, and I'll read his email. Hello, regarding bill number 4316, does this include the signage along the streets within Windstone? If so, my concern is that the current signage that indicates no parking on one side of the street is inadequate. By that I mean, 1, the distance between signs is too far, and 2, that there are some posts intended for these signs that don't actually have signage. Consequently, we periodically have situations where residents and visitors park on both sides of the street along Hidden Bluffs Drive, making it difficult to pass through. Since Hidden Bluffs Drive is the only access to Windstone, emergency vehicles would have a problem gaining access should vehicles be parked on both sides. Could you please request that McBride resolve the signage issue and/or open a second access route via Creek Bend Drive? And I sent this question over to Derek Castle, our Public Works Director. And his response was that these signs are posted by McBride based on a plan that we had input on. We believe the workers building the homes took several signs down off the posts. We have asked McBride several times by email and telephone to replace the signs with no response. The Public Works crew will go out and reinstall the signs mid to late this week. We have to order some because we don't have enough on the shelf. After that, Derek thinks we have enough signs up to enforce, but if there is a problem location that need more signs, that's easy to address. So I think this will be taken care of. And Mr. Shepherd, if that isn't, like I said, it might be like a week or so, especially if we have to order a few. But if you notice some other areas, please let us know in the city and we'll go out and assess that and work from there. But thank you for your email. And I'm gonna have to find Mr. Harry Mayer's latest one. I'm having to go use like 3 devices to do this meeting. So let me find the one sent. Okay, this is from Mr. Harry Mayer. And he said, with no meaningful response to my recent numerous emails to you, I request this email be read in its entirety and discussed at the Alderman work session. Well, we don't have a public comment at that session, but it is at this meeting, and to follow full meeting under public comments and then made publicly available, including the attached photos. And I don't know if everyone else, excuse me, got a chance to see his photos. We'll make those available. They starkly illustrate the damages caused by the city's ineffective zoning regulations and building permit review and approval procedures. Apparently, neither the PGVA consultants, city managers, nor aldermen are concerned about the impact on taxpayers of the one-sided protections for home builders in these regulations or their application. Conversely, they virtually ignore protecting adjoining homeowners from the home builders inflicting loss of value, decreased sale potential, loss of enjoyable use of their homes and lots, and decreased values of numerous surrounding homes. Per information provided, the building department apparently considers only whether a home builder's proposed house model next to an existing adjoining homeowner has been approved by the city, perhaps years earlier, and whether an engineered stamped plot plan with the required setbacks has been submitted. Apparently, no building department employee visits the lot before permit approval or even considers the proposed house placement, orientation, total height in relation to adjoining house height, loss of view, and destructive, ugly aesthetics of the size or appearance of the raw poured concrete basement wall. Here, 14 feet high, 50 feet long, on the side or back on which a 2.5-story home will be built. Sadly, the homeowner has no effective appeals rights at any stage in this entire process, particularly in our case, as the apparent only example of such a damaging zoning building permit approval anywhere else in new developments are in the city. Worst of all, the city permits a home builder to effectively ambush the adjoining property owner by not even notifying a 35% or 35-cent postcard the owner of the proposed building permit. This could alert the homeowner to obviously foreseeable damages the home builder's new house will inflict. With no appeals right, this forces the adjoining house owner to sue the home builder or perhaps the city for relief from the home builder's intentional infliction of totally foreseeable damages and the owner's loss of enjoyment of their home. Ironically, Lake St. Louis and apparently summarily refuses to grant a variance from its restrictive exterior standards so that the owner can personally pay for a large privacy screen or environmentally friendly live plant screen is to block this horrendous wall view. Keeping open views with strict fence restrictions is apparently much more a priority than an owner's view blocked by an improperly placed house. These foreseeable abuses and damages to Lake St. Louis citizens can easily be eliminated if city managers and aldermen take seriously one of their primary responsibilities to provide even minimal protections for taxpayers from such abuse and damages. How? By assuring a more competent multi-factor review of a home builder's proposed construction, elevation, block view, compatible heights, siding over concrete walls, etc., before permit approval, notifying adjoining owners of the building permit application, and providing some even appeal rights. Okay, didn't load the entire email, and it's loading. I don't know why it didn't load the entire email here.
I think you've read enough.
Yeah, if it comes up, I'll finish the rest of it. I know when I initially received an email from Mr. Mayor, my first thought was that maybe, I talked to Lewis, our community development director, to make sure, and I know that our building inspection always goes out and makes sure that the setbacks are correct per our code, whatever that may be for the front, the sides, and the backyard. And Mr. Mayor has had numerous emails, and I think it's more appropriate that I contact the city departments that have responsibilities for these. I did not see a point in going out to meet him and look at this because it did foul everything with our code. This was a subdivision that was under a pre-annexation agreement. That was prior to me being on the board of Alderman. So there were, and this happens with pre-annexations, where they were in the county at that time, and the home builder will want certain requirements relaxed. I think one of the requirements with this subdivision was that the siding did not have to be to go all the way down to the base on the sides and the back. I think that might be the only subdivision in Lake St. Louis. I know that McBride asked for that and a couple others, and I know I wasn't in favor of it, and we voted against those. As far as there isn't any regulation, I don't know of any city that has that on how a house is placed on a lot. There's always setbacks. I know with my first house, we had a walkout, a split foyer with the walkout. The house next to us was a 2-story with the walkout basement, and it towered over our house, and it was within our view also. So, I mean, you could probably go many places around town where somebody didn't like how a house that wasn't there before was placed on the lot. And as far as all of the city requirements, regulations, ordinances, I think Lewis has done a good job of investigating all of that, and everything pretty much complies. So there isn't anything here that doesn't comply to our ordinances. And Lewis, you can feel free to jump in. I know Gary Turner had asked you if you would approach the builder and see if they would consider siding it the rest of the way down. I don't know if you did or what the builder may have responded to you on that.
I did. I spoke with the builder. I expressed our concerns. Again, explained that, to my knowledge, that home that's under construction is being built to our zoning requirements and complies with our codes. But I did pass along the request that they extend the siding down to grade, but they did, so they weren't willing to do that.
Okay.
And I have a question for Lewis too. When are they gonna, my question is they did a lot of digging there. I mean, I don't know where all the overdig went. When are they gonna backfill this lot? Because he's not gonna be looking at a concrete wall. It's gonna be filled in. I mean, unless the guy's gonna have a moat, you're gonna see there's a lot of dirt that has to be brought in. Otherwise you can't get from the street to the driveway or to the garage. So when is he going to backfill that lot? What did he do with the overfill? Did he have to dig deeper for like a like plastic soil? I mean, and also does he give you some kind of a grading plan for what they're going to do?
Yeah, so their approved plot plan shows existing and proposed grades on the site. What he's looking at now are not the finished grades. Yeah. So once it is filled, some amount of that foundation is going to be underground. So
if not all of it, most of it.
Yeah. Is exposed, then will be once they finish the grading.
So, and when do you think they'll be doing the backfilling here pretty soon?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what phase that.
And sometimes they dig out that over dig just because you do run into plastic soil. And if you run into plastic soil, they usually have to dig, like 3 feet deeper and put in a base of rock. So sometimes they do that because of that reason. But that foundation will be covered over by dirt. I mean, like I said, if he's going to put in a moat or something, I mean, right now you can see where it's a huge drop between the site or the driveway and, or where the driveway would be in the street. So, I mean, there's a lot of work to be done on this house. And we had the same thing. We bought in a subdivision where we had lots empty on both sides of us and we lost our view on both sides. I don't think we'll be able to go out and have adjacent homeowners anywhere approve a permit. I don't know of that ever going on anywhere.
No, and I know at one time the only case I can think at one time we had, and this was a silly rule with the pools where you had to get your neighbor's approval with the pools. And I always thought that was silly, just because somebody didn't want you to have a pool, didn't want to see you in the pool. So no, that's the only thing I could think of we had before was the swim pools. And I know we've changed that in the last, oh gosh, it's been well over 5 years. But no, I don't know of any, and I don't really know of any other town when there's going to be a house built next to you. You can always go to the builder with the plot plans. They have to register the lots. That has to be registered with the county, be signed off, and that's a plat of record. And please, Louis or Paul or somebody jump in if I'm saying this incorrectly. As far as even a builders change and they give a, here's some of the designs, but another builder could come in, they have to be within that square footage and that same SR 1, 2, whatever that may be, but it doesn't have to look exactly the same.
Madam Mayor, Kathy, can I say something, please?
Sure, Gary.
I did go out and look at the lot, and it was actually when they had the basement forms.
Mhm.
The difference with the construction here is that they built a wall footing as opposed to spread footing, which is what we normally see in most houses. So the basement floor, which is at the top of the wall fitting, and I'm using a visual, I just looked at it, was pretty close to what the elevation of the first floor of the house of Mr. Myers' house next door. So the actual basement wall, the forms that were put up, probably another 9 feet. And looking at the distance between the two houses, and I understand they probably met the setback requirements, et cetera. It didn't appear to me there's a whole lot of backfill on that side that they can put in without seriously changing the runoff characteristics from that lot onto Mr. Myers' lot. So my concern is twofold. One, how they backfill and how it changes, if anything, and this is for Lewis's, to look at the runoff, which, you're not supposed to build it so that you increase the runoff that goes to your neighbor's house, if at all possible. And the other reason why I thought having some kind of siding come down, and that's what Karen was talking about, is the fact that it is a 9-foot wall. So on top of the wall footing, so until they're done building, of course, we can't exactly say. He sends those pictures and they don't look great, but unfortunately, until the house is done and the builder does everything, we won't know exactly how it's supposed to look, just like Karen was asking about the backfilling. But that type of construction, which I'm sure has been done before, I've never seen it done on any residential house that I've seen, be it here or in St. Peter's.
Gary, I think what they put in there is what they call a knee wall. Sometimes if you have a house that's got on a grade like that and it's a really deep house, they'll actually put in what they call a knee wall. And then they set it on top of that. And of course that knee wall will be covered too by grade. I mean, he has a lot of dirt to bring in here for this end. So I think that's what you're seeing. And we used to do that.
I understand what you're saying, but looking at the grade like I saw, the part of what you call a knee wall, I call a wall footing.
Mhm.
it was going to be interesting to see if any of that was going to be backfilled that I saw. Some of it, I guess, had already been back.
Yeah, he's gonna have to fill it, so. And we'll just have to stay on him, on the grading.
That's all I got.
Okay, any other comments?
Yeah, I got a house next door to me that has an extra basement.
A what?
What?
They poured walls, okay? And because of the lot and doing what they wanted, they had to, they have like a portion of the house in the back is another 7 foot, 8 foot deeper.
Higher.
Because of the grade?
Because of the grade,
Yep,
going down to the lake.
yep. And I think this one's a walkout too, so I think that's probably a portion of that too, is because of the grade.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is the overall height okay on the house, I assume?
It is. We measure height at the average grade at the front of the home,
Yeah.
so it's compliant.
Yeah. And do you have an idea of how much their site plan shows that they're going to fill it up?
I have that site plan, but not on me, but.
Do you have an idea? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you could get that out to Gary, the two Garys, because it's in Ward 1, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Ward 1, Brookfield. Mhm.
Maybe get him to start filling that in so he has an idea of what they're looking at, so.
Well, they should know pretty good by the grading plan.
Mhm.
Gary Turner, you want to meet with me and we'll meet with, who's the developer?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Hey, we can get together and meet with the developer and talk to him about what he plans on doing.
I would not have a problem with that.
Okay.
And you don't have to keep your social distance from me.
Yes, I do.
I would,
Especially you.
yeah. Okay,
Okay, well, thank you. I know that Mr. Mayor had some other questions that he sent some emails. I think Paul probably has some of those, and I know city staff has been responding to those as they do. And they're the experts with all the details, so. Okay. And those were the only public comments, so I'll close the public comments now. We have no tabled items. We have no old business. Under new business, do I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 4309 in title only?
I move for first reading of bill number 4309, title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Sure.
Bill number 4309, an ordinance to award a bid to Gerstensen Construction Company, Inc. for services related to the parking lot resurfacing and sidewalk replacement project for the city of Lake St. Louis, Missouri.
Move for second reading of bill number 4309 by title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill again?
Bill number 4309, an ordinance to award a bid to Gerstensen Construction Company, Inc. for services related to the parking lot resurfacing and sidewalk replacement project for the city of Lake St. Louis, Missouri.
Move to accept the second reading of bill number 4309 and assign the next ordinance number.
Second.
Donna, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Torlina,
Aye.
Alderman Pellerito,
Aye.
Alderman Potter,
Aye.
Alderman Bernard,
aye.
Alderman Law,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance number 4098.
Do I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 4310 in title only?
Motion for the
Motion
first
for the
reading.
first reading of bill number
Go ahead, John.
Motion for the first reading of bill number 4310 by title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Bill number 4310, an ordinance to adopt a budget revision for the city of Lake St. Louis budgets for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2019 and ending June 30th, 2020.
Motion for the second reading of bill number 4310 by title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill again?
Bill number 4310, an ordinance to adopt a budget revision for the city of Lake St. Louis's budgets for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2019 and ending June 30th, 2020.
Motion to accept the second reading of bill number 4310 and assign the next ordinance in sequence.
Second.
Donna, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Torlina,
Aye.
Alderman Pellerito,
Aye.
Alderman Potter,
Aye.
Alderman Bernard,
Aye.
Alderman Law,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance number 4099.
Do I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 4311 in title only?
I'll keep this going in line, if you're all right with it.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Motion for the first reading of bill number 4311 in title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Bill number 4311, an ordinance to award a contract to Warner and Schifrin, Inc. for design consultant services for the Old Highway and Phase 2 Improvement Project for the city of Lake St. Louis, Missouri.
Motion for the second reading of bill number 4311 in title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill again?
Bill number 4311, an ordinance to award a contract to Warner and Schifrin, Inc. for design consultant services for the Old Highway and Phase 2 Improvement Project for the city of Lake St. Louis, Missouri.
Motion to accept the second reading of bill number 4311 and assign the next ordinance number.
Second.
Donna, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Torlina,
Aye.
Alderman Pellerito,
Aye.
Alderman Potter,
Aye.
Alderman Bernard,
Aye.
Alderman Law,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance 4100.
Do I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 4312 in title only?
Is it me?
Yep.
Motion for the first reading of bill number 4312 in title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Bill number 4312, an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of the streets and stormwater collection systems located in the Mill Creek Plat 1 subdivision.
Motion for the second reading of bill number 4312 in title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill again?
Bill number 4312, an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of the streets and stormwater collection systems located in the Mill Creek Plat 1 subdivision.
Motion to accept the second reading and assign next ordinance number.
Second.
Donna, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Torlina,
Aye.
Alderman Pellerito,
Aye.
Alderman Potter,
Aye.
Alderman Bernard,
Aye.
Alderman Law,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance number 4101.
Do I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 4313 in title only?
Motion for the first reading of bill number 4313 in title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Bill number 4313, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and/or city administrator to execute an escrow agreement with McBride 76B LLC, providing for the continued maintenance of the streets and stormwater system and storm sewer system to be dedicated to the city in the Mill Creek Plat 1 subdivision.
Motion for the second reading of bill number 4313 in title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Bill number 4313, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and or city administrator to execute an escrow agreement with McBride 76B LLC, providing for continued maintenance of the streets and storm sewer system to be dedicated to the city in the Mill Creek Plat 1 subdivision.
Motion to accept the second reading of bill number 4313 and assign the next ordinance number.
Second.
Donna, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Torlina,
Aye.
Alderman Pellerito,
Aye.
Alderman Potter,
Aye.
Alderman Bernard,
Aye.
Alderman Law,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance number 4102.
Do I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 4314 in title only?
Move for a first reading of bill number 4314 by title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Bill number 4314, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and or city administrator to execute an escrow agreement with Windsor Park LLC, guaranteeing completion of grading and installation and maintenance of erosion control measures for the Windsor Park subdivision.
Move for a second reading of bill number 4314 by title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill again?
Bill number 4314, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and or city administrator to execute an escrow agreement with Windsor Park LLC, guaranteeing completion of grading and installation and maintenance of erosion control measures for the Windsor Park subdivision.
Move to accept the second reading of bill number 4314 and assign next ordinance number.
Second.
Donna, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Torlina,
Aye.
Alderman Pellerito.
Aye.
Alderman Potter,
Aye.
Alderman Bernard,
Aye.
Alderman Law,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance number 4103.
Do I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 4315 in title only?
Motion for the first reading of bill number 4315 by title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Bill number 4315, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and or city administrator to execute an escrow agreement with Windsor Park LLC, providing for maintenance and repair and restoration of street improvements for a portion of Freemouth Lane.
Was this the one we wanted to table?
No.
No.
Okay.
This is Windsor Park.
Okay, never mind. Okay, motion for the second reading of bill number 4315 by title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill again?
Bill number 4315, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and or city administrator to execute an escrow agreement with Windsor Park LLC, providing for maintenance, repair, and restoration of street improvements for a portion of Freemouth Lane.
Motion to accept the second reading of bill number 4315 and assign the next ordinance number.
Second.
Donna, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Torlina,
Aye.
Alderman Pellerito,
Aye.
Alderman Potter,
Aye.
Alderman
Sorry
Bernard,
about that.
Aye.
Alderman Law,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance number 4104.
Do I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 4316 in title only?
Motion for the first reading of bill number 4316 by title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Bill number 4316, an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of the streets and stormwater collection systems located in the Windstone Plat 1 and Windstone Plat 2 subdivisions.
Motion for the second reading of bill number 4316 by title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill again, please?
Bill number 4316, an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of the streets and stormwater collection systems located in the Windstone Plat 1 and Windstone Plat 2 subdivisions.
Motion to accept the second reading of bill number 4316 and assign the next ordinance in sequence.
Second.
Donna, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Torlina,
Aye.
Alderman Pellerito,
Aye.
Alderman Potter,
Aye.
Alderman Bernard,
Aye.
Alderman Law,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance number 4,105.
Do I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 4317 in title only?
Motion for the first reading of bill number 4317 in title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Bill number 4317, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and/or city administrator to execute an escrow agreement with McBride Duello LLC, providing for continued maintenance of the streets and storm sewer system to be dedicated to the city and the Windstone Plat 1 subdivision.
Motion for the second reading of bill number 4317 in title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill again?
Bill number 4317, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and/or city administrator to execute an escrow agreement with the McBride Duello LLC, providing for continued maintenance of the streets and storm sewer system to be dedicated to the city and the Windstone Plat subdivision.
Motion to accept the second reading of bill number 4317 and assign the next ordinance number.
Second.
Donna, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Torlina,
Aye.
Alderman Pellerito,
Aye.
Alderman Potter,
Aye.
Alderman Bernard,
Aye.
Alderman Law,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance number 4,106.
Okay, the next bill is the one we
No.
need to table.
No, 11.
Oh, no, it isn't. I'm
It's
getting ahead of
11.
myself. Nope. Do I have a motion for the first reading of bill number 4318?
Motion for the first reading of bill number 4318 in title only.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill, please?
Bill number 4318, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and/or city administrator to execute an escrow agreement with McBride Duello LLC, providing for continued maintenance of the streets and storm sewer system to be dedicated to the city and the Windstone Plat 2 subdivision.
Motion for the second reading of bill number 4138 in title only.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Donna, could you read the bill again?
Wrong number.
4318.
You said 4138 or something like that.
Oh. I said 4318.
Okay.
Bill number 4318, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and/or city administrator to execute an escrow agreement with McBride Duello LLC, providing for continued maintenance of the streets and storm sewer system to be dedicated to the city and the Windstone Plat 2 subdivision.
Motion to accept the second reading and assign the next ordinance number.
Second.
Donna, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Torlina,
Aye.
Alderman Pellerito,
Aye.
Alderman Potter,
Aye.
Alderman Bernard,
Aye.
Alderman Law,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance number 4,107.
Okay, now this next 4319 is the bill we want to table, pre-annexation agreement.
Motion to
That's
table.
correct.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? And we will table 4319. Okay, board comments. I'll go by the way you guys are usually sitting. That's easier for me to remember. Jason?
I think people have been talking about our next meeting and if we should go or not go. I just think that we should just use common sense, find the data that's given out by our area. It's coming out to be really positive from the briefings that I get in St. Louis County that our whole area is doing pretty well. So let's just use common sense and evaluate in 2 weeks and what we need to do.
Okay, thanks,
Second.
Jason. Gary Turner?
I don't have any comment further in addition to what Jason said, other than I'll call you Gary Tarlina. So
Okay.
set up something.
I was going to say the same thing. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Karen?
I miss people. I'm ready to get out of the house. Just God bless
Well,
everybody, especially our first responders. So I know our police have been working really hard out there. So thank you for that.
That's true. John,
Yeah, first I'd like to thank Paul for it's a pretty tough job, pretty good task putting this whole budget together and trying to put it together so we can understand it. I know it's a lot of work and I appreciate him doing that, but he couldn't do it without all the department heads and of course Donna for help. And so I appreciate you putting it together for an easily understood agenda for us to make decisions on. And secondly, I'd like to thank Adam for making all this possible.
Yes.
With Zoom.
Yep.
For
done a great job.
technically challenged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially me.
Poor guy.
I'm on my phone, not even on the laptop or the tablet.
Well, I couldn't find my email, so.
Okay, Gary Torlina.
Yeah, I think this meeting went a little bit better than I expected it to, so good job by everybody. That's
Okay,
it.
Mike. Oh, were you finished, Gary?
I think everybody in staff did a great job, including Adam. I think he did a great job getting it together. And I wish this would be over with because that way my wife will stop buying paint. And unfortunately, I can't even buy it in Lake St. Louis.
That's
I
pretty
can only
bad.
get it. I can only get it. She wants Bear, so you can only get that at Home Depot.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think
It
that's right.
probably would have made the budget balanced just for what she spent on paint.
We're gonna tell her you said that.
Go on. She says it's like free because we're not spending any other money.
Well, she got a point there.
I'm
Okay,
done.
Chief.
I think he's gone.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, Mayor, just real quick, I wanted to make you and the board aware, going back to the sign issue, we did have to relax some of the sign ordinances and such over in Hawk Ridge to accommodate Starbucks in the drive-thru. We had such traffic problems. We set cones up for them, and we basically told them, put signs wherever you need to put signs, just to make it work. So just want to make you and the board aware of that.
You know, Chief, the same thing happened at Popeyes Sunday. I went up there. It was backed up almost all the way to the cut through, behind the park.
Okay, well, we may take a look at that, maybe get them some cones, try to accommodate them also.
Yeah, they did. They handled it pretty good.
Did they? Good.
Mhm.
That's all I got, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chief. George.
No, ma'am, I got nothing.
Okay, Derek.
Nothing this evening.
Okay, Lewis.
No comments.
Paul.
I didn't have anything, Mayor.
Okay, Matt. Like the beard.
Thank you. Like I said, I'm trying to look like George and Derek and Lewis.
And Lewis too, yep.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Hey, Kathy,
Yeah.
are we gonna have a vote who had the best one?
We could. Good.
That's hard. It's
What
hard
did
to
they
make-
win?
And the best one has to buy beer.
Oh, there we go. Or you can let me shave them. No, you don't want.
Donna, will you take a roll call vote on that, please? I don't have much to add. I do want to let you know that Harry Meyer did contact a retired lawyer. That lawyer sent me an email, not really asking me to do anything, but just alerting me to this issue. I sent that along to Paul Markworth. We talked through it and we decided that the best course was not to take any action to respond to that lawyer. We didn't respond and nothing further has come from that. But Mr. Meyer is trying to, work this from any angle that he can, it seems like. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Matt. Okay, Donna.
No, ma'am, no comments.
Okay, I guess I'll finish it up, and I want to echo everybody's thanks to our city staff. I know, Paul, this is tough. It's you're so many people are involved in trying to, I know we've had to lay off 6 part-time employees and working the budget so we can keep everyone. And I know it takes everybody on staff to work with you on that. Staff has been great. I know the police department, public works, parks, everybody's working together and we're still running the city. I've been telling people, you know, you can get in contact with anyone. It's remote. Obviously you cannot come in, but emails, phone calls, all the departments are still working and we're social distancing. I know there are a few people that come in the office, but they're very scattered. They aren't very close. I'm in there occasionally to mainly sign things, not to be in anyone's way because I'm also social distancing. And as I mentioned earlier about the county and while we were in our earlier meeting, and I forgot to mention this, one of the discussions we had last week is we're really, the mayors and the city managers and the county executive, that one thing we've got to get going is this Wayfair tax. And that is where you can tax online sales, because I think after this pandemic is over, you're going to see a lot of people that they want to stay out of the stores for a while. They've gotten used to doing a lot of their shopping online, and you've seen that's kind of the way many are going anyway, but even more so now. And without this Wayfair tax, which we have a letter that all of us signed, all of the mayors and the county executive signed, which is going to Jeff City. It's going to our state representatives and our 2 state senators. And we know a couple of our senators are in that group that they don't, you know, anything that's dealing with taxation. And we're saying it's not really an additional tax. It's a tax they would have paid if they bought those goods in town. And this is something that's needed because it's really going to affect cities. So that is going out today, or went out this afternoon. Received an email from the county, so
We
let you
still
know
have
that.
to pass a use tax in order to collect though. So we'd have,
But you need the Wayfair though to even start doing anything.
and I think the
And-
biggest issue with Wayfair, from what I understand, is it's the fact that we don't have streamlined tax bases. Basically, we have like 2,500 different tax jurisdictions, and they're looking for something more streamlined. So, because there's a lot of states that have this, and they all have one tax rate. So I think that's been the biggest issue with getting this thing passed.
Well, you know, another thing, Karen, even though you have all these, what do you do then when you have a transportation district that was set up with that?
I
That's
have no idea.
some of the issues
Yeah.
going forward, but
I have no idea. That's the issue there. I think that's
Yep.
the biggest. So, and that it's a tax too. So,
Yeah, but you could just exclude that, just use the municipality's tax,
yeah.
not the added items, which are perfectly legal under the
Mhm.
Missouri.
yep.
Yeah, I don't
But
know how
that-
other states do it, but it seems to work for them.
And I'm trying to, I know the county's been putting out a lot of information. So we put some links to our city webpage, and I said maybe every couple weeks, now that I have a little bit more information from this meeting and from the county meeting, do some updates there, some updates on our Facebook page, just kind of like I did it about a week and a half ago, just to let residents know what's going on. Now, we're not doing anything in addition to what the county's doing. We get the information. That's what I told people. We get the information from the county health department. We don't have a Lake St. Louis or a Wentzville or O'Fallon health department. We're all in this together. And the information they provide, it's from the county. We don't have like dig down into more information, and we really shouldn't. Like I think we've talked before, that gets into HIPAA regulations, that first responders have addresses just so they know if the ambulance department is going in for something, they know that they need to put protective gear on, but that is not really the business of everybody else in town, so. And we had, I guess about a week ago, and Chief's been great, Paul's been great about getting this information. When somebody thought that Walmart had a case and it turned out not to be the case, contacted Walmart, contacted the county. And I think people are got a little bit nervous after the incident with the Wentzville post office. So everybody's keeping us apprised on what's going on. And we'll get through this. I know, we're at least in a better position than some cities. I know across the river, Chesterfield depends so heavily on their sales tax that I believe their police department is taking a pay cut so that they didn't have to lay off officers. We're not in that position at this point. So I'm hoping we're back by the next meeting. And like I said, we'll be safe, and we'll try to follow what the county is recommending, and maybe it will be sooner. Like everybody's saying, they're seeing the numbers really go down, and hopefully we see that. We don't see any spikes. So everyone just stay safe out there, keep your social distancing, but you can still get out. You can still walk. You can still, St. Charles County trails are open, Matt. So if you want to come over here, I know, and I think I heard that they were even considering maybe opening up a few of the parks in St. Louis County, because people do need to get out. They just can't do it in big droves altogether. And with that, we don't have executive session. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. And thanks again to Adam for putting
Good
this
job, Adam.
together.
Yeah, poor Adam. I feel bad.
Thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
See you.
Bye.
Stay healthy.
Yep.
Yep. Just got you there, Kathy.